And so, Cautious Hero Shincho Yusha has come to an end. So we had 2 episodes this week. The finale aired quite early in comparison to how it normally does, which makes sense since the the next anime season is quickly approaching for, winter of 2020. It's gonna be weird saying 2020, but we gotta get used to it. So anyways, this finale was an emotional roller coaster, up and down with emotions. Like, first we started off with just straight up desperation, tension, because it might be too late to save Seiya. We get to Seiya wins, we're like, yes! And then all of a sudden we see the curse of the Valkyrie, the gate, and all that of Valhalla open up, and then the curse is upon Seiya. He starts bleeding out. Then you see, Rista, she uses her divine powers, doesn't care about the punishment, and he'll say, and you're like, yes! Like, up and down, up and down. And then all of a sudden, the second gate needs to be opened up because the Demon King breaks out of the first gate, which you're like, wait, what? And then he literally has enough power to destroy the world 2 times over, and you're like, this is getting into some Dragon Ball Z stuff. And then the second gate opens, drags the man in, and with Seiya, he can't run away from this gate, the toll of the gate of Valhalla, and Rista's power alone of healing isn't enough to save him. And then the man shatters into pieces, and then we're left on a very bitter ending. And it's a powerful episode, especially with that final conclusion setting up for a season 2. I don't know if we ever will get a season 2, because usually when it comes to anime nowadays, especially a Sekai series, they are kind of more of an advertisement for the original source, like light novels, manga, etc. That's usually what they're for. However, there is a Sekai that do get continuations. ReZero is a good example, Overlord, etc. There is a Sekai that get continuations, but most times when it comes to a Sekai, it is all about advertisement, getting people to get the original source. And when I really do take a moment to look at what this first season is, it does look like a giant advertisement for the original source. But at the same time, there was enough left open depending on where the anime goes and how popular the series gets. The studio can come back and continue Cautious Hero for a season 2, which I would really love that if that's the case. There has so far been no announcement for a continuation, no season 2, but I would definitely want to see one, and I'm going to assume because of just the popularity of the series, this has been a pretty popular series from this anime season. I do think that Cautious Hero will get a continuation one day. The question is, when will it be announced? That is the big question. But, okay, let's get into this finale. Let's talk about the emotions to the setup for the season 2 and how this episode really just gives you so many questions. Like, there is a lot of world building within this episode, which kind of took me by surprise. Like, there's already been here and there, like, world building for the story, but this episode really takes it to a whole other level. When you look at the gates of Valhalla within this episode, the 2 gates, they both show emotion, especially the second gate. The second gate legit talks to Rista, how, he judges fairly, he takes his toll fairly, he's not evil, he's not bad, he just takes his toll that he's needed for, being called upon to be summoned here. He takes it and then he leaves. And there is just a lot of world building with that. It makes you wonder what exactly is the Gate of Valhalla. Obviously, Valhalla in myth is basically the afterlife, and when you really think about it, maybe the Gate of Valhalla, or whatever people are being sucked into, is basically, let's say, the underworld, or afterlife, whatever, and so it makes you wonder exactly where do these people go that are sucked through it. For instance, the Demon King, or, maybe Seiya, if, he didn't get revived at the end of the episode. Like, where do those souls go? Do they go into a completely different realm, separate from the goddess's realm, and completely separated from the other dimensions and stuff where the heroes go to save people against the Demon King? It really does make you wonder. That's a big detail that this episode brought up that made me really start questioning about this world. Then we also have the situation with, the main head goddess basically saying that she is not able to protect Rista from the punishment that she's probably going to receive, that her very title of goddess could be stripped away because of her actions, and she cannot protect Rista anymore, which basically alludes to the point that there is a council, a higher tier council, a higher realm to this goddess realm that we personally have not seen, that most likely has very strong entities, most likely gods that are very well known and massive, most likely gods that are known in mythology. Like, Zeus and all of that, I could definitely see, maybe the upper realms being gods that we actually can recognize, and maybe those are the individuals that kind of lay down, the punishments to the lower gods and the lower beings, etc. It would make sense, because honestly, when you really think about it, this S-ranked world is ridiculous, and we come to find out that there is a tier higher than an S-ranked world. It's an SS, a double S, and I'm going to assume there is a triple S-ranked world as well. I mean, it just goes with the theme of S-ranked worlds, and I would wonder how in the hell, if, like, the strongest goddess in the goddess realm we've seen, like the Valkyrie, had to use everything to be able to bring down a lower tier opponent that Seiya couldn't defeat a while back, a couple episodes back. How were heroes supposed to overcome that? You're basically saying the heroes have to become stronger than the gods themselves. That's kind of ridiculous, and it makes you wonder, how are these S-ranked worlds getting handled? And then we find out an SS-ranked world exists. You're like, whoa, wait, hold the phone here. You're telling me now there's creatures or a Demon King stronger than a freaking S-ranked world, and even the best of the goddesses probably couldn't even fight the Demon King of an S-ranked world. So you're like, how are you supposed to fight against a double S? So then we find out about the higher tier realm of gods. You're like, oh, now it all makes sense. The question is, who are they? What is their objective, etc.? And, after everything that Rista has done, punishing her just seems really messed up. It really does. It seems like, the head goddess that we've seen throughout this, entire world so far, she kind of pulled some strings to be able to bring back Seiya, but it wasn't the upper tier gods that allowed it or anything. They wanted punishment for Rista, and she fails this time. She's completely stripped of her title. We don't really necessarily know what that means. We don't know if she's thrown into oblivion, or if she's left on the demon world, or whatever. We have no idea what that necessarily means, like what that punishment entails if they say you're stripped of your goddess rank. Whatever happens, though, there is a lot of world building that this episode, or this finale, does that makes me very interested to see what would happen in the continuation, in the light novel, manga, or anime. I do want to know. I am very curious about that. But, okay, with that, let's talk about the fight, or actually, there really wasn't much fighting for this finale. It was mainly just how much effort had to be used to be able to bring down the Demon King. So obviously, it was very clear that Seiya was going to do a suicidal tactic against the Demon King, basically sacrifice himself to bring the man down, and it's clear that if, Rista didn't pop up within this episode to save him, then the world would have fell, because after the first gate, Seiya was going to die right then and there. He probably did not have a backup plan, and if he would have died there, then when the Demon King was kind of coming outside of the gate, even if he would have been sucked back into the first gate, he would have destroyed the world entirely, so everything would have been lost regardless. So, it's Rista that technically, without her help, Seiya would have lost. He wouldn't have been able to summon that second gate whatsoever, and the world would have died. So it is thanks to her help. And all of this was needed. Her unlocking her potential as a goddess was needed to bring the man down, and now her abilities are sealed, and she won't even be able to help the man out against the SS rank world. That's kind of scary, which, let's get right into that. So, Seiya, he pretty much dies. He does die. He dies, and he fulfills what he couldn't fulfill in his original world. He's able to save Rista and the inhabitants, his friends, etc. It's very emotional, and it's just so shocking when you see the man smile and he just shatters into pieces, and everybody sees this man that, seemed to be very brutish, or someone that didn't seem like he cared, just die in front of them, because at the end of the day, he did care about them. He sacrificed it all, and he just vanished right then and there, and nobody will ever really be able to remember him, or, actually kind of see his face ever again. They can't even build statues of the man because, they don't even know his face. He wasn't even able to be there for the awards ceremony or anything. It's just, he's gone, and it's sad. And you can see how the build-up towards the ending, it was really well done. They did a good job of building up those emotions that Seiya is gone, he's no longer there, he's dead, and now life moves on. You have it the world that Seiya saved moves on. Rista has to get up and do her next assignments as a goddess, etc. Things continue to move forward. And I do appreciate, though, when Seiya is summoned back, he has to save the very world that he failed at the first time around, which makes sense, honestly. It really does make sense, because when you think about what the last episode did, it basically revealed that there was a world that fell, a B-rank world that fell, Seiya couldn't save, and then it led to the events of Rista being brought about as a goddess, and then everything else. So it makes sense that he would have to return to that world and save it, or that world would be brought back into the story one way or another, or the Demon King, etc. And it's clear that the Demon King gained a lot of power after consuming the hero, after consuming a goddess and everybody, and probably even more people throughout, the entirety of the world that he conquered. He would be a lot stronger. So it makes sense he's an SS rank, Demon King, or SS rank world. And I do appreciate, though, how Seiya's going to have to go back there and fight. But this time, Rista won't be there to help him or save him. And I really do wonder what the ceiling of her power necessarily means. Does this mean that she cannot open up warp portals? Like, she cannot open up portals to bring Seiya back to the goddess realm to train? Or is he officially stuck in that world and not able to teleport to and from, and he has to level up there while time restrictions are upon him? I'm very curious exactly how that works, if her entirety of her skill set is sealed or not. If her entire skill set is sealed, then Seiya is going to have a really uphill battle against his opponents, which I could definitely see maybe some loopholes being bent to be able to get to the goddess realm or something happening. But for now, though, it looks like it's going to be a hard battle for Seiya to conquer the SS rank world, which basically took his life the first time, took the woman he loves life the first time, his friend's life, and also his child's life. So I'm looking forward to it. But anyways, let me know your thoughts. How'd you feel about this finale? Did you enjoy this finale of Shinsho Yusha? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Be honest in the comments below. But with that, I love you guys. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you got this video, please leave a like. If you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. And with that, Chibi out.